back to another video. In this video, I'll be showing you how to work with buttons. Actually, I had recorded a complete project first, but I think I should have explained how buttons work beforehand, right? So in this video, I'll be showing you how to build buttons, like how to make buttons and how to customize them, right? So I'll not be showing you how to add images in buttons, but I think you can do it on your own right after this video. So let's get started, right? uh, First of all, let's see what we are going to build. This is a window and this will be a plain button which says click, right? A simple button. Like, first let's build this. Now, to use some components like buttons, you need to import Qt quick controls, right? That's why every video you will see that I've imported this. When you import Qt quick controls, you will have some components like button and other components, right? If you press F1, you can see what are all the list of components you can add. Like, you can add a checkbox, combo box, then busy indicator, like if you have seen a loading indicator, right? Menu bar and all the things, right? Slider. I'll show you a lot of these elements, right? So for now, let's focus on buttons. Now, the simplest way is to give it some text. Let's say hi, right? And that's it. Let's try to run this application. Obviously, I forgot to center it independent, so it will appear in the center and it will be more visible. Like, just a minute. Let it run. Yeah, as you can see, there is a high, but this is too small, right? So obviously, for buttons we need something called padding. Like, see, for example, let's say this is our text high. Right now the button will build like this. Now we need to give some space here, right? Some space between this text and the button border, right? For that we have something called padding, right? This space, if I want this space, I have to give some padding. This is the left padding, this is the right padding. Sorry, this is the top, this is the right, and this is the bottom, and this is the left, right? Now, uh, before moving forward, I'll show you the difference between margin and padding, right? For example, let's say this is our rectangle, right? Now, anything, any item inside this rectangle, let's say there is a text, or let's say there is an image, right? Some image, right? If you want there to be some space between the border of this rectangle which you are working with and this text inside or the image inside, you use padding. So padding is nothing but something inside, space inside. And if there is an outer box or an outer window, rectangle, anything, if you want there to be some space between these two with respect to this rectangle, if you want some space outside, you need margin. So margin is outside, padding is inside, right? Now let's get back. So there is a text, there is a border, you need some space, so you use padding, right? Now, in the latest buttons you need to give padding individually. So let's say we have some left padding of 20, some right padding of also 20, and top padding of, let's say, 10, and bottom padding of also, let's say, 10. And now let's try to run the application once. Yeah, as you can see, there is some visible space, right? But still the text is too small. So to to modify the text, to change the color of the text or something, you cannot directly modify like this, right? So to customize the button, first of all you need to okay, to customize it, first of all we need something called content item. Now this will be a label or a text. Now what is content item, right? Let's see. Suppose this is a button, any text or image or any other component inside it, that is called content item, right? And any background to it is called a background. So if you want to give a background of, let's say, red, So you know how it works, right? Background, a rectangle which will fill the button, and the color of this rectangle will be red. Red. Also, the content item, the label will have some text. Let's say click me. Right. Now let's try to run the application once. You will see some errors, right? Because by default we are not allowed to customize this button. Like it's working right, but you will see some errors here, like from warnings here. So it says the current style does not support customization. So to customize the button, like to modify the button's properties, like modify the background, modify the text, how it appears, and so on, right? What we need to do is first we need to import a predefined style. You can either use material, imagine, fusion, basic, right, or universal. I'll be using material. What this is, what this material is this is a predefined style. So for example, just like button, there is slider, there is combo box. Now this is a predefined theme, right? So when you import this theme, it allows for the modification of the button element, right? It allows you to modify this label and this background on your own. Like it removes this warning and it allows customization. So for that you need to import this predefined theme first. Anything, whether it be material, or you can import fusion or imagine, or all the available options, right? All these options. I chose material. So let's give this text some size of, let's say, 18, and the color of this should be white. Now let's try to run the application again. Let's remove the error. Let's see. Yeah, now this works properly, right? Now uh, a button has a property, a signal actually called on clicked. So whenever you click on this button, this signal is fired, and this block of code, whatever you write here inside, this will be executed, right? Whenever you click on this button. So for now, let's say whenever we click this button, let's give this rectangle an ID. Let's say color of button. Let's say we want to change this color to be a random color. Now how to define a random color? You use qt.rgba and pass in like 4 values. So let's give a random value using the function called math.random. And the fourth value is opacity. Like, do you want it to be transparent or do you want some opacity, right? So for now, let's leave it as 1, right? Now here it will be equal to, because this is a JavaScript block of code, right? This is QML code, this is JavaScript code. So here you use equal to whenever you are in this parenthesis part. Like when you access a signal, you call this block of code. Inside this block of code, you use normal equal to assignment, right? Let's try to run this. Whenever the button is clicked, this part of code will be executed. What we are doing is we are changing the background of the button. Let's see. See, the background is changed every time we click on it, right? So that's all for this button, right? There are more signals, but this is the basic part, right? And I hope this part is clear to you. Now, after this video, I think the next part where we are building a project will make much more sense. Now, I think I can like define this RGB part, right? This RGB is red, green, blue, red, green, and blue, right? Every color has some red, green, and blue components. This is the red part. This 3F is the green part, and this 5F is the blue part. After that, there can also be two values. Let's say 1, 1. So this is the opacity, like how much visible do you want it to be. Let's say we give this opacity of 0.1. Now what will happen is it will become almost transparent. Like you won't be able to see the background, right? So anything closer to 0 is transparent. See, it's very transparent, right? and if you set it to 1, it will be fully visible. So I yeah, that's it, and thank you for watching. Like in the next video, I will be working on building a small project like this one, and after that video I'll be showing you how to manually like build an exe for it and running it. Obviously you can delete most of these dll files, like, but you have to randomly try and test it out, right? For example, let's say this one, if I delete it, I think this should, yeah. So in this way I'll like show you how to like manually build this project, right? So thank you for watching, like, have a nice day and take care.